Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today, we're back again doing archery. Today, I thought, why not try and see how much it actually takes to get good at just one bow that you start off with versus the one that you go up to. Because despite these both being just bows, to those who aren't initiated already, hi, I'm Cameron, otherwise known as the Fuser User. I am an archer YouTuber who is learning how to drive a car. And taking the time to learn how to do a bow, quite a lot of work, really. Because when you go from one to the other, it's kind of a big step for everyone involved. But there are some ups and downs to that change up. When you go from the original bow you were using to a bigger and more powerful bow, there are some upsides, like you'll be more accurate, have a lot more power too, and of course you'll be able to see where exactly you want to aim and you'll know how to do it. It's just the learning curve. A lot of people sometimes just don't see the reason why they should, so they just kind of try and cheat their way to the top, and then it ends in disaster. But I, on the other hand, I am going the normal way, just learning myself, teaching myself how to do it. And just so you guys know, you need to pull back, take a moment, aim, and then fire. But of course, that's only part of the learning, because the other part is basically you're going to need to learn how to actually maintain the bows. And for those who aren't initiated, the bows come apart, and sometimes that's good. The reason why it's so good for some bows, like example, my dad's bow, because of the string being so strong and powerful, it's not okay for the bow to just sit like this with the bowstring still attached. So what do? We de-string it, take it apart, put it in its box. But whenever we need to use it, or whenever my dad decided, why not? You can use it. He left it to sit like this, so I can have easy access without having to try to put it together over and over. And depending on how far back you pull the string, you're going to deliver different amounts of power to the target when you shoot. Like different caliber bullets. For different guns, there are different kinds of arrows for different kinds of bows. My bow has that black arrow of orange and white because that belongs to this. here's the arrow and the bow together. There used to be two, as demonstrated by this quiver on the bow, but that other one was broken because I accidentally broke it. But as you can see, a lot less power. Not really going to be good enough for hunting, but good enough for target practice, which is basically what I'm doing it with. Oh, that one actually stuck in. And I'm doing this video today this early because it's a nice day to be outside, to absorb some sunlight, to get some good vitamin D, vitamin whatever. It's just a nice day out. As you can see, my accuracy is all over the place. That's because of how they designed that one to aim. Meanwhile, this one has a more accurate reading. Sure, at one point I was able to actually shoot with that other bow more accurate than this, but that was just a few videos or so ago. And yes, if you're wondering why I am deciding to make this content, I decided to because I saw a lot of other archers, YouTubers, and decided to give it a try. And right now, it seems like I'm doing fine. All you have to do, really, if you want to do a quick fire, is pull back slightly and then shoot. But it's going to deliver not as much power as a more calculated and more pulled back arrow like that. That one delivered more power than the first one. That one missed, but I'm fine with it. Now, I'm going to just bring the camera over so that we can see just how destructive these can be. Because, yeah, that went in extremely deep. Ouch. That would hurt. My arrow did miss. This one hit, and it is deep too. Fun fact about my dad's arrows, actually. Since they are designed like this, with no ridges around the tip of the arrow, come out easy. Which makes it very, very easy to actually take them out so that I can keep on shooting. Because if I did not take them out, then there would still be a lot of problems. I'm trying a new camera angle. There we go. That's better. This is better for a few reasons. One, shade. So now I'm not getting super duper hot. And two, now that I'm in the shade, I can practice more like this, where I can actually stay either in or out of the actual shots. But of course, this is still very early in the day. It was like around 10 a.m. or something. And just so that we have a little representation of how powerful this bow is, Here's the arrow that goes to it. There used to be two. The other one died. These arrows are practically the same size and everything. The knock on the back is basically just a little different. But they still function the same way. Go into the bow, get put on the string, pull back, fire. They'll do the same thing. Same thing with the longest arrows. As you can see, not many arrows did penetrate. Meanwhile, my dad's bow is nice and strong, and it actually can stick things into the actual material and stuff. So I'll go grab those. There we go. Got them. Just so that we are clear, this one is one of my original arrows. Not too big, but still powerful enough to get punched into the material. But with my yellow bow, only the silver head here actually got into the actual material. And if you see any copper looking stuff, that's just bronze. Okay, that's just bronze. That's just what the arrowhead was made of, which was actually a material historically used. This is one of my mom's arrows. Again, if we take them side by side, they're practically the same length. But then we take my dad's arrow and then line it up. Yeah, a lot longer. But that's because my dad's bow is a lot stronger and a lot more powerful compared to my bow and my mom's bow. And while I was sitting here to shoot at the target, I'm going to do that again with my yellow bow so that you guys have a unobscured vision of what it's like to actually shoot it with me still in the frame. I'm probably going to scoot the target back a little bit because it would make some sense to shoot it while it's further away instead of just close, because right now it may look far to you guys on the YouTube videos, but it's actually pretty far away in the video, while in reality it's a bit close. So I'm gonna be right back. That's better. That's a lot better now. This is more of a distance that we had before I moved the camera here. This is going to be my new recording angle so that whenever the sun is shining over where I usually set the camera, it doesn't overheat the camera. Because there's leaves above it, sure, but the shade doesn't happen until later in the day. Like probably midday or something, like in the middle of the afternoon or something. I don't know. Probably around 12 or something. Or 1 in the middle of the afternoon. But of course, here is the retake of the arrows being shot with my regular bow. There it is. As you can see, one arrow did make it in, but all the others basically just bounced off. I'll go grab those and you guys can see this transition. And there we go. Now I got the arrows, and the target is a little closer because it was actually a bit further away than I anticipated for my bow. But now we got this one, my dad's bow. And instead of using my first arrow to start, we're using my dad's arrows. The longest arrows of the whole family's arrows. Okay, here we go. I did technically hit all the arrows around it, but 4 did hit. It's just that 1 bounced off, while 3 did penetrate into the material and stick in. I'll bring the target over, so just wait. And I'm back. And here are the first 3 arrows that I picked up, because 2 of them did not actually hit. This one did hit, but it just bounced off the rounded edge, which is normal because, I mean, look at them. They're not sharp, they're rounded, so makes sense. But, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that would destroy the target. If it was like a deer, yeah, it's going to be hit in critical parts of its body, making its escape pointless because of how many things are hitting its vital areas. Meaning, if you hit it in the right spots, it will not be able to escape. Unless you are trying to help the poor thing, I would recommend not shooting it. But if you're trying to hunt it for game and stuff, sure, go ahead. But I'm just saying, I personally would not shoot a deer. I never tasted deer anyways, even though I live on the outskirts of town. But, you know, that's just me. And I'm not saying where I'm in the US. Just saying, from where I live, I don't go hunting, I don't eat deer, and I don't hunt at all, because for a few reasons. It can be cruel to the animal, it can be exhausting for the hunters, and when you get it, what else do you really need? Because, think about it, when you go hunting, you get it, you're exhausted, you go back home, you have to do all these other things just to have your reward. And when you go to get taxidermied as a trophy, there's more processes that have to happen. But of course, that's just my opinion. Everyone's free to say what they want, okay? Because that's kind of what we're allowed to say, because it's our opinions. But, you know, that's just me. But anyways, I'm going to put this back out there so that we can continue with the video for now. You guys also might be wondering, why do I have 2 different quivers for 6 arrows? Well, one is one that my mom has, and the other is one that's just kind of a default feature on my bow. But anyways, we're going to shoot and see if I can hit anything from this distance, because it's kind of hilarious that I am trying, but oh, it actually stuck in. All right, going underestimate what a bow can do. Especially from this distance when you aim it in different ways. Okay. Well, I'll go check the damage and I'll come reporting back. Well, one arrow did go into the top there, but it went into like this stitching area. But it's a target. It's supposed to get shot at, so it's fine. Especially for what we're going to do now. Because this bow is my dad's and it is powerful. Five out of the 6 arrows hit, and yeah, that thing's obliterated. In summary, when it comes to my bow versus my dad's bow, my bow just basically takes the arrowheads of arrows like mine and my mom's and just puts the heads of the arrows just a little past the material to where they're stuck in, or sometimes less than that. Meanwhile, with my dad's bow, they go in way deeper. And sometimes these arrows, sometimes they bounce off when shot from either bow, which is definitely a possibility. And there's a thing that some people may